a little bit more time on it, and it seems to be picking up. I don't know. I'm going to give them a chance.
Oh, you need the 30-30 plan with it now.
Oh, yeah. I think they ought to, give us some bonus hours, to the people, but, that's never going to happen.
Oh, hell no. Well, what can I say, dude?
Well, thanks for getting on the bulletin boards, too.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Be good. You said that Bodyguard hates the new Prodigy, too?
Yeah, he said it's so slow.
Oh, man, I just don't understand.
Said something about new numbers, too, new phone numbers. 2400 is 1200 now, or?
I don't know anything about that.
Huh? I don't know what that means.
I log on at 14.4, and that's a relatively new number. It's only a couple of months old, so...
maybe I don't know.
Maybe they changed the 2400.
I'd say it drives them nuts.
9600.
Drives them nuts because it's so slow now with all the little fancy graphics and spinning things.
Oh, I can't begin to imagine trying to log on to that sucker at 1200 baud. Oh, Jesus. And that's Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hello? You're on the air at WSUN.
Hi, is this Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I didn't expect you to answer the phone. I just was curious, Bob, do you usually get this many crank calls?
Yes.
You do? Really? I never noticed that many before, and I didn't realize there were that many idiots that listen to your show. Miss Sharon, I had a question for you. Is the ship going to be able to go out this week?
I don't know. I don't imagine they've... I probably will.
The captain was moonlighting, and then there was some terrible accident, and he...
No.
Oh, that's not true?
No.
Really?
My captain.
Oh, okay. I thought that was him.
I think by and large I enjoy the crank calls rather than the amateur comedians.
Yeah.
Are you a professional comedian, Bob?
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. You're on the air at WSUN.
Good morning.
Hi.
Question for the woman on the show.
Uh-huh.
The woman on the show.
Looking for the coordinates of the storm in the Lesser Antilles?
I don't know. I know that it was no, there was really. Let me see what the latest I have on that was what I brought with me.
Newswoman on the show.
Newswoman on the show is looking for it. Tropical weather. Here it was. It was a new system that was threatening to become a depression.
Right.
It's time to go.
This was all I had was around 10 from 10:30 because I left before they had anything new. All it was a new area of concern over the Lesser Antilles, and it was getting better organized at last word, and a tropical depression could be developing today or tomorrow from it. Was moving westward at about 15. A lot of thunderstorms and gusty winds over the Lesser Antilles and Eastern Caribbean.
Okay, I already
didn't think I'd know anything about it, did you?
No, I already knew all that about it.
Well, that's all I had on it.
Glad I'm not working for the station. I'm up to date more than you are.
Oh, you probably are.
Well, how about the other?
It's just that we don't have anything.
How about the other one? The one that's already hit.
You know so much, tell us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm asking her.
Well, I'm asking
Came
you.
ashore around Pensacola.
Jeffy, you just be quiet.
It went to it crossed the Western Panhandle earlier today. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, you? Well, last I have is the 11 a.m. coordinates on that one.
Oh, man.
That's about all I would
Sir,
have
does
to.
this sound to you like a station whose audience sits there and plots hurricanes?
It doesn't sound like the newsroom does it either.
We don't have a newsroom, sir. We don't pretend to have a newsroom.
Well, it doesn't sound like the woman does either.
Well, I don't over here, honey.
We eliminated news 6 months ago, sir.
Oh, he didn't notice.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see how you guys are.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
I thought I did pretty good, too, coming up with that tropical weather information.
You're on the air at WSUN. It's 3:49.
Get ready for Miami Dolphins football. A sports presentation of
That sucks. 3:53
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
is the time, about 7 minutes away from the hour of 4 o'clock. What?
Nothing.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, this Lassiter.
Yeah.
Hey, Lassiter, how you doing, man?
Fine,
First
thanks.
time I ever call you, man. I'm a big fan of yours.
Great.
Hey, listen, I want to say something. I live in Temple Terrace, right? And I was on my way home. I heard you from Philadelphia.
Well, the Philadelphia area, yeah.
Right. I heard about those cakes you like. I forget the name of them. I think they
Tasty Cakes.
Tasty Cakes. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through College Hill because the traffic was too much around the area. I wasn't going to take the highway, and there's this guy in College Hill. I know you ain't going to go up in there, but there's a guy in College Hill, and he had like a whole table full of Tasty Cakes. And I got out to get a few, and I looked across the street, and there was a dope bust going on. So I figured you wouldn't want to go over there in College Hill there. But there's a guy down there, he's selling it. He's got like a whole table full of tasty cakes.
Well, thanks for the tip, dude.
You know, and I just wanted to let you know, man. I drive through there. I saw that. I thought about you, man, because I listen to you every day.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
See you later.
Good audience.
You know where to go get them.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense selling taste cakes across from your, dope dealer. People get the munchies. You know?
You just go across the street to the guy with
Makes
the
a hell of a lot more
tasty
sense
cake
selling them
table.
there than a grocery store or something.
Yeah.
Sell a lot more of them in a place
They
like
have all
that.
those preservatives in them.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
You're the king of assholes.
Aw.
Thank you, my loyal subject. You're on the air at WSUN.
To a tailor shop.
Thank you, my loyal subject. He should have waited until I was finished speaking, then we could have heard what he said.
Yeah.
You're on the air at WSUN.
Bob.
Yeah.
Hi. I told you yesterday it would be my third and final call.
Uh-huh.
But after listening to some calls today, I decided to talk to you one more time.
Yeah.
Can you ask me an ethical question? Challenge me.
Challenge the man, Bobby. Go ahead.
Sir, I don't ask questions on demand.
I'm going to start making animal noises and threats if you don't ask me a good question.
Okay, in that case, we'll move on to the next one. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob, what's going on?
No, not much.
Thought I'd call and maybe say hi to you. Tell Jeffy he's doing a pretty good job, and
Jeffy's not doing anything. He's just sitting there.
Have you seen these nails?
no. Like a couple questions for Miss Sharon also. To start with, I can't understand why people will call and waste your time and waste their time with trivial like phone play. I just don't get where they get off on it. It's ridiculous, and stop wasting our time. Second thing is, Miss Sharon, she sounds so sweet. She reminds me, now this is not to be rude, but kind of the way she talks reminds me of my mom.
Your mom? Well,
Yeah.
that's a nice thing
So I
to
can't
say.
see, it kind of distorts the vision when they say Sharon's the body tailor. But that's just okay, I suppose.
There's worse things to be than people's mom.
Well,
Name one.
People's grandma.
You.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was curious, not to beg, but I'll get to the point about possibly getting some cruise passes. And what does Sharon do on the ship?
That's a very good question. I wonder that myself sometimes.
Well, answer it, Sharon. Tell the kid what you do on the ship.
Do you have a talk show on the ship?
No. Nope. I just walk around, say hey to people, and if they're listeners, I try to give them some stuff. And if they have karaoke, I'll sing a karaoke song. And if the band is somebody with whom I can do a couple tunes, I sing some songs with them.
Well, that's a pretty nice gig, I suppose.
It's fun.
Or just Friday nights, or...
Friday nights.
I'd sure like to go out there. I have a friend coming in from out of state, and I'd like to possibly take her to on a cruise there.
Oh, yeah. Great to see you again.
No, I mean, it's not. I mean, the boats are pretty big, aren't they? I mean,
Heck yeah. It's a big boat.
I mean, you can't really tell that there's...
They used to be able to get between 700 to 900 prisoners of war on those things during the Second World War.
Stop it.
They don't really take...
They could get more than that on there.
But the Geneva Convention, Jeffy,
yeah.
they limited it to a maximum of 900.
Okay.
Give the poor man
You can't feel disease that well out there, can you? I mean, you can't... it's not that easy to get seasick on those boats, is it? I mean...
Well, it depends on how prone one is toward that
So you can...
sort of thing. Well, you can...
somebody's mother tell a fib like that,
You can feel it when think about it, when if the Gulf is all rough from the rough weather and the storms, like it will be. It has been all week. I mean, they're talking 7 to 9 foot seas out there tonight.
Right.
I mean, if you don't feel that,
for sure,
you're a better man than I.
No, for sure. After a storm, after a storm, you could tell pretty well. But on most occasions, I mean, those boats are big enough where you can't sense it that well. Is that?
Well, some people are more sensitive to it.
You reminded you of his mother, Sharon.
And it's true. Some people go out and they're absolutely fine.
I mean, when I say...
Some people go out and they just, before we even leave the dock, they're getting...
more like a used car salesman now than like somebody's mother.
No, that's the truth. People are either fine or they get it in their heads, oh, God, I'm going to get sick.
Miss Sharon, what it is the way that you are about the animal stories. And
I love animals.
My mom's a fond lover of animals, and it just seems to me that the way you come across is very good morals, a nice, wholesome person.
I love little animals.
Not to say that everybody else at the station isn't wholesome, but...
No, you're correct.
Well, I better extra out of this before I get myself in trouble.
Can we give him a cruise passport?
Hold on, kid.
All right.
It's 3:59.
Now, an AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol update. Here's Chris Walker.
Have an injury accident 22nd and Comanche in Hillsborough County. Also have an accident westbound I-4 at 40th, Bush and Del Mabry and Lois and Azeel. Ybor City, 19th and Palm coming in with an accident. Westbound Hillsborough at I-4 just coming in, and an injury accident in Lakeland. Pretty serious one on County Line Road between Medulla and Drainsville. A lot of emergency vehicles out there. They're continuing an investigation from an earlier accident. And Ridge and Ulmerton coming in Pinellas County. All the Bay Area bridges, very treacherous. Please keep both hands on the wheels if you have to travel across there. This report of service of Tampa Airport Marriott. Thousands of early morning flyers agree that Tampa Airport Marriott's $99 flyout can't be beat. Enjoy a comfortable hotel room the night before your flight, plus 7 days parking for just $99 plus tax. Chris Walker, AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol.
Don't miss Hooters on the radio, weekdays 10 a.m. till 2 on AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio. AM 620 WSUN. The opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the advertisers, management, or staff of AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio.
Don't go away now. We'll be back in a moment.
Do you have what it takes to be a Little Caesars delivery driver? Are you willing to make money working flexible delivery time hours? Could you stand to make people happy by bringing them good food and possibly a beverage? Are you over 18 with access to an insured car? Then call or stop by Little Caesars to apply. Little Caesars Pizza Delivery. It's not just a job. Okay, it is just a job, but it's a darned good one. Pizza. An equal opportunity employer.
In a well. It started when a farmer jumped in a well to save a chicken. And then another person jumped in to try to save him. And apparently at the bottom of this well, there was some kind of a current racing through. And then another person jumped in. That person dropped. 6 people and all drowned, all trying to save the chicken. And the chicken survived.
Oh, that's good. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Oh, I know, poor little thing.
6 months to go on your contract.
No, it's more than that.
Yes.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby. I got that number for you that I will buy your house from you. I just wondered if you wanted it. You acted like you were going to call it or something on the air.
Well, no, I was just teasing.
I got it for you. You want it?
No, that's okay.
Oh, you said, all right.
But thanks anyway, dude.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks.
Good show.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hi, I want to get on the Bob Lassiter show. How do I do it?
I'll send a tape and a resume to the program director. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Lassiter.
Yeah.
Bob?
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a question. What do you think about the email that's going on in the morning on the Ron Ron show?
I know nothing about it.
Huh?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, what's your feelings on that? Could you elaborate on that?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Are you opposed to it? Why don't you tell me about it?
Well, from what people say, lots of people call in, and because we were thinking about getting in, I'd like to hear what other people think about it.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob.
Take care. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Hey, if you decided that you just couldn't possibly do this radio thing anymore, what would you do to occupy yourself otherwise?
What will I do to occupy myself otherwise? I would probably just trade options and futures and things of that nature.
Sit home on your computer and trade options.
Yep.
But you wouldn't miss us?
Some days I would.
Some days you would.
Yeah.
Well, we'd miss you, but I was listening to some of the calls today, and I figured you just about got to have enough of this, and I figured you'd be leaving soon.
What do you mean I have to have enough of this?
The people calling in, like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, boring people, and just, I don't know how you can just sit there and do it. You just paid a lot of money, don't you?
There's nothing else I can do. I'm not a magician.
Not a magician.
About 5-6 weeks ago, there was a drastic turnaround. This audience just will not respond to anything, and I'm just sick and tired of sitting here 4 out of 5 days holding my breath waiting for 6 o'clock. This is what they want. This is what they get.
Well. Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Okay, dude.
Good luck on those futures, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
No, this format is over. Talk radio is over. If you don't believe that, Go read about what they hired out in Los Angeles to do talk radio. If you don't believe that, there was an incredibly interesting poll. It has nothing whatsoever to do with talk radio, and it has everything to do with talk radio. A poll that was released earlier this week. It's one of those meaningless, silly little polls, but it isn't meaningless and it isn't silly. 75% of the American people in this, according to this poll, mistrust the government. Well, actually, the way the question was asked is 75% of the people in this country mistrust the government to do the right thing. That's an incredible number. But what does this really say? There's a real easy way around that. What it says is 75% of the people in this country do nothing but bitch and don't take any active interest or any active role in what's going on. They just sit back, and if you go up to them and you ask them, they'll tell you something. You know, I don't like it. I mistrust. I can't do this. I can't do that. This is a country that is run by the people. And this is a country where approximately 75% of the people are just too damn busy or too damn disinterested or too damn to whatever to get involved. And those 75% of the people who mistrust the government to do the right thing could change it today. And they won't. All they want to do is bitch about it. Well, let's come back to this format. This format throughout this country has broken down into primarily one of three areas. The first area, the largest area, is what people like to kid themselves and call conservative talk radio. It's not the least bit conservative. It's populist talk radio that is basically middle-aged white people who are failures in life, who do nothing but bitch and moan and complain about everybody else messing up the system, messing up their lives. You know, flip up the dial to 970. You'll hear it 24 hours a day. Oh, I'm telling you, Mark, them liberals. Oh, I'm telling you, Rush, them liberals. That's all it is. It's been that way day in and day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out now for years. The other area of talk radio is just a bunch of boring people with self-help kind of radio. Oh, Dr. Lance, my boss, he mistreats me terrible on the job. How should I deal with this? Really exciting things. Tell me, Jerry, I just got a big inheritance. How should I handle it? How much did you get? About $5,700. Oh, I buy mutual funds with it. Oh, really exciting radio. And then, of course, it looks like there's this new form of talk radio, with the likes of Cato Kaeland and other such, really exciting people, former, Danny Bonaducci, all kinds of exciting people out there who haven't a thought between their two little ears talking to other people who don't have a thought between their two little ears. Well, I am just a simple, humble man. I've explained this to you guys before. I'm not going to explain it to you again. If you're too lazy to have a thought, too lazy to pick up the phone, hey, the guys that are calling today ain't. That's the way it goes. It's as simple as that. And the extraordinary thing is, the vast majority, if indeed not 100%, of the cranks who call up and scream or say the same stupid things over and over and over again are major Bob Lassiter fans. And they are utterly and totally and completely destroying talk radio, this station, this show. Well, actually, there are two groups of people who are doing it. One group is determined to destroy this format actively. And the other group of people is determined to destroy this format passively by not calling. And then, of course, every now and then, about every seventh or eighth caller, we get somebody, some really, really sharp individual who calls and says, "Hey, Bob, what gives with the callers today?" Doesn't say anything else, but he's just really pissed that somebody else out there isn't picking up the ball and running with it. And after he hears 4 or 5 people go, "Ah!" he gets really frustrated and calls up and asks me why. But we're not screening the calls anymore. And just like your goddamn government, you can change this show today. You can can make it anything you want it to be. I don't care. I'll tell you, I'll be as honest with you as I know how to be. 120 days from this date. 120 days from this date is my contract window, and I do not expect it to be picked up. For what possible purpose? For what possible purpose? I sure as hell wouldn't pick it up. I mean, we have this radio station. We have gone out of our way. We have a radio station. And please don't misunderstand. Do not misunderstand. This is not criticism. This is not bitching. This is nothing but what I'm telling you the way it is. We have a radio station with a morning show that pulls very, very nice numbers, basically cutting people's hair and setting up phony baloney wrestling matches. They've been doing it for years. And have very, very nice numbers. We have a radio station where in the middle of the day, we have a couple of girls reading to each other out of the newspaper, taking calls from Ron Bennington and lovelorn listeners every now and then to call up and say exciting things like, Julie, ever go out with any of your listeners? I saw you at the Hooters. Oh, you're beautiful, Judy. And then me. Oh, yeah, and the psychic after me. I mean, come on. I ain't pissed. Just accept it. I don't take it personal. I just accept it. Cato Kalin, 75% of the people mistrust the government to do the right thing. Says it all, man. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
Hey, what you doing?
Just kind of hanging around, dude.
Yeah. You still talking about telescopes or anything?
Talking about anything, man.
Yeah, well, I wanted to tell you, you're making a good choice. You're getting a Meade.
Probably. There is an advantage to the Celestron that I'm thinking about, but I am leaning toward the Meade.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of looking through an 8-inch Meade one time, and it was fabulous. I've been into telescopes my whole life.
Yeah.
And it's a fabulous little telescope, I tell you.
It's probably the 8-inch I'll go with. You see, that's the compromise with a Muffy. I would prefer a 10, but it's another $700 or $800, and so we'll probably compromise on the 8.
You know anything about the setting circles on the thing?
What do you mean?
Do you know how to work them?
Not yet.
They're real simple. All you do is you find a bright star, a navigational star.
Uh-huh.
You've got one setting circle that's fixed. It's right. It's the declination.
Right.
You've got the one that you can turn. It's the right ascension. And all you do is you turn it to, say it's at 2 hours 15 minutes. You turn it 2 hours 15 minutes, and then you can go from there any place in the sky. And it's wonderful, man.
I can't wait. We're going to seriously look again on Saturday, and I have already been informed by Miss Muffy. She has told me that there's a possibility. She ain't making no promises, but there's a possibility we might come home with one on Saturday.
Yeah, well, have you got any magazines? Or you?
Oh yeah. I've been reading all week. I'm astonished at. I mean, I am a total and complete novice, but I'm astonished at what I have learned in like 5 days.
There's a lot out there, I tell you. How about computer programs? You got any of those?
No.
They make some fantastic ones. I bought one at Radio Shack it was like $14, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's just like having a telescope. You can punch in anything you want, and it will find it for you. You can zoom in on it. You can like motorize it, make it go across the horizon like all the stars are rising.
Uh-huh.
And it's just fantastic. There's all kinds of stuff out there.
I'm really looking forward to it. I really am.
Well, I hope you have a good time with it because I've been enjoying that my whole life.
Hey, thanks, dude.
Hey, sure.
Be good.
Bye.
It's 4:16.
Night away, and their fabulous dinner menu makes the evening complete. This Friday or Saturday, come to Billy's Fort DeSoto Joe's Seafood Wharf Restaurant on the Pinellas Bayway at the Tierra Verde Resort. For reservations, call 867-8710. That's 867-8710.
Signal 59, that's in progress, 311 North.
Every day in Florida, there are criminals at work. They may not use a weapon, but give them a chance and they'll rob you blind. Unlicensed contractors steal millions from Florida consumers every year. Don't become a victim. Avoid paying in cash or before the project is complete. Make sure the contractor is insured. Never agree to obtain building permits yourself, and always ask to see a state contractor's license. Don't get nailed. Hire a licensed contractor.
We're not news radio. We're nude radio. AM 620 WSUN.
I stand the shame? If I parted in heaven with a raunchy smell, send me straight to hell. Or can anybody smell up in heaven? Does gas act the same? Does it linger in heaven? Would you be ashamed to pull my finger in heaven? I'll know these things when the fat lady sings, 'cause I'll be the one who brings tears to heaven. 'Cause I know I'll be the one who brings tears to heaven.
22 minutes after the hour of 4 o'clock. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Oh, your new system's confusing me here. I was waiting for Jeffy to answer.
Well, Jeffy, he's just being an asshole, usual Jeffy.
You overworking him over there?
It's not a matter of overworking him. He showed us his food handler's card yesterday and said that a man that has had, a course in seafood handling shouldn't have to answer phones. And I didn't know how to answer him. I didn't know, what to say to him, so.
He's right,
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I just had a few comments about this recent media circus surrounding the hurricane.
Media circus?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it seems this is what keeps the Weather Channel in business. And I understand the need to keep posted on something as important as a hurricane, but the updates, and really all they wind up doing is feeding paranoia. My wife's from upstate New York, and she doesn't know what a hurricane is, really. She wouldn't listen to anything I had to say, and I've been through a couple of these hurricanes. I went through Elena, so I'm not.
You haven't been through a hurricane then yet. Elena never came on shore.
True. But I mean, we were scared. This was our first.
Should have been scared.
We went through all the preparatory, phases of buying a gazillion flashlights. And
you should have.
Exactly, but how many times a day does somebody need to hear this? Who just tunes in at the 11th hour?
Have you seen the pictures? Have you seen the pictures of Homestead, Florida?
Oh, yes, I have.
Well, if you looked out your window and saw, your street looking like that area looked after that hurricane went through, you wouldn't think that you had just been through too much hype.
I agree. I don't want to sound.
These are devastating storms that are totally and completely unpredictable. That's the problem. They're unpredictable in terms of exactly where they're going to go, precisely when they're going to arrive, and even how much damage they're going to do. That's the problem.
So what's wrong with just getting the information out there once or twice? Yeah, I mean, it's published in the newspaper, it's printed on everything.
Sir, do you realize that if you went out on the street right now and stopped 100 people, that approximately 15 of them wouldn't be able to tell you who the vice president is?
I do understand that the way to educate the masses is to do it at the level of the most ignorant person. That's how it's been in high school. They always teach at the level of the dumbest kid in class. That seems that's the way society is based. To put everything at the level of the least intellectual person. But that means really slowing it down a lot for those who aren't quite so uninformed.
Well, when you're talking about potentially tens of thousands of lives, billions upon billions of dollars in property damage, and saving of some of those lives and saving of some of that property damage by constantly keeping people informed of precisely where the storm is, where it's expected to head, and when it's expected to get there, I just don't think, calling it a media circus, frankly, is fair. These are devastating killer storms.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize how shallow I was being.
Well, I'm not. You're not being shallow, man. You're just not thinking.
And it's just, I guess because I've seen it once or twice before, and maybe because I already have logged in my mind what to do in case of a hurricane.
But you see, that's the whole problem. You haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
You haven't seen it yet. Elena never came on shore. If memory serves me, it stayed about 75 to 100 miles offshore. So all you ever got here were the outer bands of Elena. And in the time that I've been in Florida, nothing has really, this last storm is the one that came closest, and it was a relatively small storm.
True. But being informed of it nonetheless, I mean, I get tired of hearing it, and that is pretty insensitive because there are people that just arrived, literally just arrived to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists who find themselves caught in the middle of this. To me, it seems as it's a media circus, just because I guess I get tired of all the sensationalistic crap I hear. Some of it's really melodramatic. I mean, if I hear batten down the hatches or the calm before the storm, it's just stuff like that paints a picture to people who, are just trying to get the information. It gives them this whole drama. And even so far as the way the TV station's depicted in this graphic display that makes it look like a movie almost. And I don't know if it's to me, I just look at it and I laugh. Say, did they have to write hurricane like it's blowing over on the screen there? Was that really important to get the information out? I mean, I understand the need. To me, the little beeps and little things running across the bottom of the screen, the occasional radar they show, that's sufficient for starts. Because a hurricane doesn't, change all too quickly. And then every 20 minutes, update it.
It does. It changes constantly. It's
well, minor changes. I mean, it's not going to just jump across the state. I mean, if for those of us on the West Coast.
But it can. There was a storm last year that zigzagged back and forth between the Gulf and the Atlantic. And every time everybody thought, oh, God, this one's gone, it came right back. Don't you remember that?
Yes, but it still took, quite a few days to do that. It
took hours. The state's only like maybe 90, 100 miles wide. And these storms, when they really get up and moving, are moving 12, 15 or more miles an hour. That's only a few hours. And that's and you're talking about a storm that's wider than the state. And when it's bouncing back and forth, it ain't much time at all. If this sucker turned around and doubled back here, it would be back here in a couple of hours. The effects of it would be back here in a couple of hours. The eye wouldn't be here till probably sometime tomorrow, but the effects of that storm would be here in a couple of hours if this thing turned around and came right back here.
Oh, we're still feeling the effects.
Hell, yes.
Yeah, I noticed that. Do you agree with me at least on the fact that some of the media just plays it up a little too much, gets too much into the drama of it?
No, frankly, no. I'm sorry, I can't.
That's what they're there for.
But don't you think that they cause some paranoia unnecessarily? I mean, being alert and being, ready for the worst is one thing. Being to the point where your nerves are frazzled. I don't think. I mean.
Well, in my travels, I didn't see one window boarded up.
It didn't seem like anybody was paying attention, to be honest.
I went to Scotty's Tuesday morning. Actually, Tuesday afternoon. It was just about noon. I went to Scotty's. The place was empty. The one guy that I saw in there was looking at sprinkler heads. And I'm serious. I'm not trying to be a smartass here. I'm not trying to be funny. He was in there checking out sprinkler heads, and I'm in there trying to buy hurricane supplies. There were no lines, no nothing. My wife, at the roughly the same time, went to Walgreens to buy things like batteries and so forth and so on. No lines, no nothing.
I guess it's just that the news makes it look different. They're showing barren shells and lines.
Well, people who live closer to the coast do tend to take it a tad more seriously. But, there's literally nowhere in this state, I don't care how far inland you are, there is nowhere in this state where you're immune to all of the effects of hurricanes, including flooding.
Well, I've listened to you now for a while, and it's kind of rare that we disagree on anything. Not to say that we don't.
Well, that's okay.
But that's good. I mean, it's okay to disagree.
Sure it is.
For once, and a lot of things you say, I always, you speculate on a lot of things, and I always hope that you're right on most things, but I really hope that you're wrong about this being the end of talk radio as you know it, as you project it. I really hope you're wrong, because maybe you can find another, maybe, who knows, maybe someday I'm on a radio station.
There isn't any other radio station. There isn't any other radio station that's doing talk as I did it even 3 years ago.
And
it's gone.
I hope you're wrong on that. I really hope you're wrong about the death of, because this is such it's been invaluable to me, and I'm not too...
But my friend, you live in a country where, except for the extremists, no one wants anything to do with anything.
Yeah, you're right. You're either a conservative or a liberal. I mean,
no, it's not even a matter of being a conservative or a liberal. The vast majority of people are apathetic. It's too much trouble to vote. It's too much trouble to. It's too much trouble to do anything. We live in a country where we expect somebody else to do it, no matter what it is. I mean, one of the. I don't care what your job is. I don't care what your station in life is. There is a phrase that virtually every American hears virtually every single day. And that phrase drives each and every one of us insane. And it's also a phrase that we all use constantly, too. And that phrase is, it's not my job, man.
Or it's not my concern.
That's right. That's right. That's the country you live in.
And that's what's going to be the downfall then. And does I mean, you're talking about it, and I know it to be common sense, and you obviously know it to be common sense, but why is it that everybody else seems to be oblivious to it? Is it they know it exists and they just ignore it, or they really don't see it?
No, we're all waiting for the other guy to do it. I'm no different.
I honestly have dreams, but when I say dreams, it's just that. It's the things that, visit me at night, dreams of changing the world. And when I sit down and actually try and find a concrete plan to make something better, and of course everybody does it in their own small way, and maybe I'll just make 3 or 4 lives better. It might be the people in my family, for all I know. But at least if I can do that, and I'll toil late at night trying to find a way to make something a little better without sacrificing who I am, and I just don't see a way to do it. I mean, I like to think what you're doing could be a widespread, media is you have your hand on America, or on the Tampa Bay area at least. You have in your capacity to do great. And you do, as far as I'm concerned, you do as best you can. And I can understand why you get tired of it. And I'm not one of those callers that's going to say, what's up with everybody today? But it's obvious to me that when you get that kind of stuff, if you had something, if I were you and I came into work, and I had something incredibly deep and perceptive to say, and I got those calls, I'd bury it. I would not waste my breath on those people. And I've heard...
Sir, it's all I've got to work with.
No,
it's not a matter of burying it. It's all I have to work with. We have reached a point where there are days when we have gone 45 minutes in between calls. And then the calls that we get are, great show, Bob. I've been listening since your PLP. Gotta go. Hey, can't do it. Just can't do it. So there's no sense in trying.
You're really stuck between a rock and a hard place.
No, man, it's just a fact of life. That's all. Just a fact of life.
You sound happy about it, like a guy who's,
It's not a matter of being happy. It's not a matter of being sad. I mean, you just accept, life for what it is, and make the best of it.
Sometimes you sound like a guy who's, laid on in life and accepts the fact that he's going to die someday, and just, you're happy. You're content with it. I don't like to think that, next year I'm not going to hear you. I'm not saying I depend my life on you.
It's not within my control. It isn't within my control, and there's utterly no sense in me driving myself crazy trying to, have some kind of an effect on it, because it's not within my power. It's within your power.
You're right, and I've figured one thing out over the years. With any entertainment form that I've ever grown attached to, I can sure as hell kiss it goodbye as soon as it starts making a difference. As soon as it becomes something important to me, or any amount of people for that matter, you can pretty much say goodbye to it. It's just this the way it is.
Well, I got to say goodbye right now, dude.
See ya.
Be good.
More choice, less money means free installation and a specially priced value package from Paragon Cable. Just order standard cable and our HBO discount value package, and you get all the great HBO entertainment, plus a universal remote control, a smart box, several pay-per-view channels, and Paraguard service call protection, all for just $29.95 a month. $29.95 a month, and installation is free. To order, just call 1-800-800-CABLE. That's 1-800-800-CABLE. Ask for standard cable and our HBO discount value package. Order now and installation is free. Prices apply for the first 3 months. Other restrictions may apply.
More choice, less money. Paragon Cable is here for you. More choice, less money. All the best comes shining through. Paragon Cable.
Looking for a compact pickup? Let's compare Ford Ranger to GMC Sonoma. 2 nicely loaded trucks, but let's look at the numbers. Pencils ready? Ranger has a standard 112 horsepower engine. GMC Sonoma, 118. Ranger has 1,250 cubic inches of payload capacity. Sonoma, 1,257. Ranger gives you 28 highway miles per gallon based on EPA estimates. Sonoma, 29. And of course, with Sonoma, you can choose from 3 suspension packages. With Ranger, what you see is what you get. Plus, with air conditioning, driver's side airbag, and AM/FM cassette, it's easy to see why GMC Sonoma adds up to offer you more than Ford Ranger. See your Suncoast GMC truck dealer today.
Yo, it's Ron and Ron here. Catch us tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 a.m.
And now back to the king of talk radio, Mr. Bob Lassiter.
On AM 620 WSUN, entertaining talk radio.
This is Rush Limbaugh, servant of humanity, talk show host, hemorrhoid sufferer. Folks at over 300 pounds, I know the agony of this kind of dilemma. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you there's help. With new Preparation Rush and my Rush to Excellence suppositories. Now you can end the pain and itching of hemorrhoidal tissue. Just look for my picture on the box of suppositories and the applicator tube. Another fine product from OIB, the Obesity in Broadcasting Network.
Oh, this is just astonishing. So, like, it was about 2 hours ago, I look up in the other room, and there's Peter in there, chat, to Jeffy. So I say, Peter, if you want to talk, come in here, sit down, talk here. Sits here for 2.5 hours, says 9 words, finally announces he's leaving, gets up, goes in the other room, he's in there with Jeffy. God almighty.
Peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Like to talk.
Just chatting.
Yeah. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
At what age did you lose your...
You're on the air at WSUN.
Oh,
You're on the air at WSUN.
Homing pigeon throw.
You're on the air at WSUN.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
You know, I really do consider you the most intelligent voice on radio in America.
I'm not sure about that, but probably in the top 5.
But look, Bob, I'd like to talk about a topic that not a lot of people know about, if you don't mind.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anything about the genocide that's happening in Tibet?
This is
No,
Mr.
sir, I
Fudd.
don't know anything about the genocide that's happening in Tibet.
Well, you know, with this political correctness, America really is not allowed to talk about the genocide in Tibet.
I don't think it has anything to do with political correctness, sir.
Well, it really does, but that's besides the point. What's been happening is that the Chinese have been systematically, since 1950, killing the Tibetan people.
In the mountains, that's right. Been going on for years and years.
And Bob, really, it's worse than what happened to the Jews. And the reason I say it's politically incorrect to talk about it is that the atrocity...
It's not a matter of political correctness, sir. It's a matter of nobody gives a crap. That's the, it's not a matter of political correctness. Political correctness is where people go out of their way not to offend. People are not going out of their way not to offend the Chinese and not talking about it. They don't give a crap.
Yeah, but the point that I want to bring out, I mean, I kind of agree with you, but the point I really want to bring out to the audience is that a wonderful race of people, probably the most religious people living on the earth, are being systematically tortured.
What do you want me to do about it, sir?
Not all the Tibetans are
Bob,
monks.
All I want is the people out there to understand that, stop supporting anything that has to do with China. Like, for example, the MFN, most favored nation status, that was granted really by, the corporations.
How many of the American people, sir, do you think even know about most favored nation status and what it does and what it doesn't do and support it or don't support it? Come on.
I agree, but what America really needs to wake up to is, we complain about, and I'm Jewish, but we complain about what happened to the Jews, and yet, I tell you, what's happening to the Tibetans now is 10 times worse than what happened to the Jews. The Chinese...
So what do you want to do about it?
Well, I am doing a lot about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very activist person. What I'm doing about it right now is trying to get my voice out to your listeners and let them know that there is a very, very ugly, a literal genocide happening in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And the Chinese are doing it. It is the worst genocide. And I want to make a very big point that will really make a lot of sense. In Vietnam, in Bosnia, those are civil wars. And, I was a hippie. I didn't get involved because it is a civil war. But in Tibet, there is not one Tibetan citizen. There's not one Tibetan citizen that wants the Chinese in. Not one. Every Tibetan citizen wants freedom. And, It's something that we can support without having any kind of Republican, Democrat, this against that. It's all the big business corporations of all the multi-billion dollars we have in China that's squelching voices. You know, Newt Gingrich.
What do you want me to do about it? Third and final time. Give me an answer.
I want you to talk about it more.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
How do you stop a nigger?
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, hi, Bob.
Hi.
Two things. The first one was, didn't that guy sound an awful lot like Mr. Fudd?
I don't know, maybe.
No, he wasn't.
I think so.
No.
I agree. I agree.
I heard you say that. He wasn't.
At least he's Mr. Fudd's friend.
Very Fudd-like.
Yeah, but actually this call is for Jesse. I think he'd be most able to help me with this.
Yes?
Yeah, thanks. I wanted to know whether or not you would have a little bit of advice for me. I managed to kind of BS my way into this new job, and now I find that I'm not particularly adept at it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, what do I do?
Sure called the right number.
I had the feeling that maybe he had an experience as this himself.
Well, you need to just look around and watch the other people at your job. Are you happy there? Do you like it?
I don't know. I can't tell. I'm really not very good at this. I thought I would just ace it, just be terrific at it.
Right. Well, you need to complain a lot to your bosses about the ineptness of the people around you, and they'll get rid of some of those people, and they'll go ahead and promote you.
Thanks.
Is that how you got rid of Krusty?
I'll do that. Okay, bye.
I was wondering, all of a sudden the kid was here one day, gone the next. I'll be damned.
There you go.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, I got my radio on. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I called about that guy that said the media hype about the hurricanes and stuff. I think they ought to tie him to a tree, leave him outside the next time we have a
There you go.
I mean, it's absolutely stupid. Because I just got...
Of course, there's also another solution, too, that was on the tip of my tongue, but I was trying to be nice. He seems like a nice enough guy, but the other solution is just don't watch television, that day. It bugs you that much.
Yeah, if he just wants to have
read a book that day.
Quite frankly, I had to work the next day because I'm a mail carrier, and we did carry the mail during the storm and whatever, but I was up till 3 in the morning wondering where the hell the storm was coming and going and everything else, and I just got through taking the boards off my house. And because I had last year, I spent about 3 weekends getting everything fitted and cut up and everything and I put them up.
I couldn't get enough information. I couldn't get enough information on that storm. I was very concerned about the safety of my house, obviously the safety of my family. I wanted to know precisely where it was likely to be headed, and when it was likely to arrive. And
I live in Hernando, and it came right up over the top of my house. The eye did.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're on the northern end of Hernando, near Brooksville, Bayport area. Is really stupid. But
well, the young man said he used the magic words. I believe he said, I've been through 2 of these now.
Yeah,
He'd been through none of them yet.
No, not Elena was nothing.
So I've never been through a Florida hurricane. I've seen them in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't want to see another one.
Absolutely. In fact, the no-name storm, I believe, turned into much worse than it was here, and it was horrible here.
Mm-hmm.
Up in, where was it, Long Island or Connecticut or something like that?
Well, those spring storms along the East Coast, what they refer to as nor'easters are just, they're horrible, horrible, horrible things.
Absolutely. I heard a little bit of your show. I got home about an hour ago, and I keep hearing... Makes me depressed because I've been listening to you for years, and now you're talking about 120 days from now when the contract is up.
Well, it's the contract window. They're 2 months beyond that.
Okay, but anyway, also the people that are around...
I'm just being realistic, man.
Well, I understand that, but I've heard Sharon, she's got to be concerned. I mean, she was the news girl, We like to leave. She used to come on, at 11?
Yeah.
In the morning and right on through, and now she sits alongside of you doing what? I don't know. I have no idea why she's getting paid or what, other than, to go along with the program. But what the hell happens to her if you leave? I'm concerned. I've been listening for years, We're kind of like family, even though, just one of the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered something like that, or is she...
What do you mean by considered something like that?
Well, I mean, for your fellow employees.
I have nothing to do with it.
What do you mean you have nothing to do with it?
Just what I said. I had nothing to do with it at all. I cost a lot of money. The shows around me cost nothing.
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 So it's a matter of your salary.
It's a matter of the way the business has changed.
But, I mean, Tampa Bay is still Tampa Bay. You knew what it was when you came here, and...
Sir, it isn't up to me. Let me try that again. It's not up to me.
But
you guys can make the show as exciting as you want it to be. It is not exciting when I have to sit here and go 45 minutes in between a phone call. That's not exciting, is it?
I've called. This is the third time I've called you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time I call you is when I feel panicked about something that's happening or some idiot that's been on there and you didn't agree with him. I was glad about the hurricane deal. But maybe we should call more often or something like that. But the point is, what else we got in Tampa Bay? I mean, if you go and what happens to Sharon? What happens to Jeffy? And Jeffy's not even answering the phone now. And he's still getting paid, I hope, you know?
He doesn't get much. Don't worry about it.
I don't care if he gets $1 an hour. I mean, it's still, you know, he's just sitting there now. I don't understand how it's all working. And this has been going on for... You've been messing around on this for about 3 months.
No, sir, I've not been messing around on anything. Let me try this for you one more time, okay?
All right.
I can come in here and sit down and do a 1 hour, 1.5 hour monologue on something that's, just, you know, in the news, on people's minds, and I get 3 or 4 calls on it. It takes me 5 or 6 hours to put together the monologue, and I get 3 or 4 calls on it, and then maybe somebody calls up and burps, and then perhaps someone calls up and farts, and then perhaps someone calls up and wants to know what I think about his next-door neighbor, who's a former cop, putting a police benevolence sticker on his living girlfriend's car.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
It's
over. That's all. It's over because all the other... What?
You're just saying that it's totally changed of what it was.
That's right. It's over.
Ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you think it's the area or is
No, sir. I'm telling you, it's this way all over the country.
Nationwide. It's sad for me.
Sorry, sir.
I understand. But I'm concerned about other people, you know, of what happens to them, because we like to listen to them, and I always enjoyed Sharon's newscasts and her little dog stories or whatever and stuff like that. But if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. I guess we'll have to wait our 120 days plus 2 months or whatever you said. So,
thank you, sir.
See what happens.
Take care. 576 WSUN in Pinellas, Hillsborough, 221 WSUN. It's 4:50.
Now, an AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol update. Here's Chris Walker.
Have accidents still working in Pinellas County, US 19 at Seville. It was an earlier injury accident. That's right near Gulf to Bay. We also have injuries at Belcher north of Park Boulevard. And if you're in Dunedin, we have a problem with the road surface at Curlew, just east of County Road 1. And the Bay Area bridges, very windy, very wet. Please use caution going across those. Some standing water reported on Ulmerton at Roosevelt. Hillsborough County have accident in Brandon and Bloomingdale and Bell Shoals, Benjamin south of Johns. This report a service of 28 Tampa Bay News. How will Florida's Panhandle handle the hit of Hurricane Aaron? We'll tune in for a special report live from Pensacola tonight at 5 on 28 Tampa Bay News. Chris Walker, AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol.
You never know what's going to happen on the Gary Spivey Show.
I do want to say one thing. I called months ago, and I was concerned about my husband's business.
Right.
And you said he would get new accounts and that we would be okay.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
Fantastic.
So
that's good.
I want to thank you for that.
So, you always have to listen. Gary Spivey, weeknights 6 till 8 p.m. on AM 620 WSUN.
The Outdoor Sportsman Center at 6066th Street North, St. Petersburg, offers 14,000 square feet of just about everything an outdoorsman could ever dream of. Combining the Army-Navy store and American Discount Marine, you get the best of the outdoors, all under one roof. American Discount Marine offers big discounts on such boating necessities as anchors, lines, oil, batteries, and tennis, as well as those little accessories you just gotta have. And if you trailer your boat, you'll find trailer accessories, including lights, tires, wheels, bearing kits, springs, axles, everything you need at American Discount Marine. In the Army-Navy store, you'll find camping equipment, hunting equipment, and surplus sporting goods. Plus work boots, hiking boots, guns, ammo, camp clothing, shorts, hats, t-shirts, self-defense equipment, and much more. If it's for outdoor fun, it's all there. Check out the specials currently available at the Outdoor Sportsman Center. Boat bimini tops from $99. Trailer light packages from $19. Canoes starting at $275. Tents for $50. Jungle boots $29.99. Guns and ammo sale. Camping gear sale. The Outdoor Sportsman has it all. The Army Navy Store and American Discount Marine, 60th Avenue North and 66th Street.
Hey, everybody, Spaniard here. Now, listen up. This Friday, you have got to feign an illness, skip out of work early, and get to the Dollhouse. From 3 to 4, they're serving up free draft beers, and that's just the start of the fun, because at 5 o'clock, we're showing up to party. There's going to be a free buffet and plenty of prizes and surprises, plus your chance to win a Dollhouse dream date. It all starts this Friday at 3 with BL, Julie, and Fez from 5 to 7 at the Dollhouse, 1010 Northwest Shore Boulevard in Tampa.
Hi, this is Erin Summers, host of Passion Phones. Listen tonight, 8 till midnight. Now, back to more of the Mad Dog, Bob Lassiter, on AM 620 WSUN.
4:54 the time. Let's see. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Excuses.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Bob.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something I saw in the paper today.
Uh-huh.
This elderly woman in Temple Terrace, where she left her door open and 2 pit bulls came into her home and mauled her.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Well, the way I feel about that, I don't know why there are no charges pressed against the owner of the dogs, because those dogs lived about a half mile away from this woman's house. And when the police, she died while she was being chewed on by the dogs. Now, when the police came, they couldn't pull the dog off of her. Well, now, somebody's not doing their job in law enforcement. I know the policemen had a rough time, but now, who would be responsible for pressing charges against the owner of that dog, those dogs?
The state's attorney, man.
Pardon?
The state's attorney.
The who?
The state's attorney.
State attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, there ought to be some way to have somebody protest this.
Well, ma'am, the state's attorney would have to investigate it before he could press charges. You know, he would have to make, for example, he would have to find out whether or not the dogs got away and they had been properly penned, and or that, maybe somebody let them out of the yard, a disgruntled neighbor. You don't just go, filing charges when, you don't know exactly what the story is, and I'm sure they're investigating it, ma'am.
Well, do you think that this isn't finished yet, that they will investigate?
It just happened, ma'am.
Pardon?
It just happened.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I feel very upset about that, because if you're
Okay, then we'll put you down in the column of the people who are opposed to pit bulls eating up old ladies. Let's say hi. You're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
This is the vet calling.
Oh, how you doing, Doc?
Doing okay.
Okay.
I haven't been able to listen the last couple of days too much, but I've been hearing you're talking about getting a telescope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good to me, too.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. I don't know if you remember, I told you I just got one.
No, I didn't remember that.
A couple of months ago, yeah.
No, what do you have?
I got an 8-inch Celestron.
8-inch Celestron, okay. Because why did you get the Celestron over the Meade?
Well, actually, I got it used.
Oh, okay.
That was what was available, but I had talked to a couple of people that were experienced in it, and their opinion was that the Celestron had a little bit better optics, but I don't know. I don't know if there's probably not a huge difference, or at least not a noticeable.
Well, the big difference, as far as I'm concerned, is the Celestron is battery operated and the Meade is not.
Mm-hmm.
And Armenia at that intersection, going to find some problems getting through there. Traffic control heading out there, though. And if you're in Lakeland, we've still got an investigation ongoing. Serious accident, County Line Road between Medulla and Drainfield. And in Pinellas County, US 19 at Seville, that one's injuries and blockage. Belcher north of Park Boulevard, same story, injuries and blockage. Some standing water on Almerton and Roosevelt, and flooding on Park Boulevard at 49th Street. Chris Walker, AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol.
And now, coming to you live, it's another Ron and Ron replay.
He claims he knows somebody that's going to get me a copy first.
Of Pulp Fiction. Well, I think it comes out in September, so...
I asked the guy Blockbuster, and he says that they've heard all different kinds of dates. I took him and shook him.
Tell me.
And this is a movie I could watch over and over until I'm definitely sure I know every line.
And I mean,
not just 90% of it.
I could get a video camera and like, film it over the screen.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
I hate that. People do that.
That would look too shaky. Too cheap.
And you get chocolate on the lens constantly. Be sure to listen to Ron Diaz and Ron Bennington each weekday morning only on the Ron and Ron Show.
Don't miss Ron and Ron, weekday morning, 6 till 10 a.m. on AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio. AM 620 WSUN. The opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the advertisers, management, or staff of AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio.
Deep in the heart of the convenience store cooler, the bottles are having a really groovy time.
I think I'm hallucinating, Snappy.
You sure your cap's screwed on tight, Zappy?
Yeah, but the whole store is a shade of really cool colors. It's like I'm looking through tangerine mango sunglasses or something.
It's just those very fine chillers.
What very fine chillers?
The one standing in front of you. You're behind a whole row of very fine Arctic mango tangerine chillers.
Man, they're really colorful.
I hear they taste just as good as they look. Luscious mangoes, delicious tangerines.
They're big.
AM 620 WSUN. St. Petersburg, Tampa, Clearwater. We're cleared for takeoff. Now, take it off. Now back to Lassiter on AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio.
Finding a gray head of PTL. Well, it's just a lonely day since Tammy's gone away, 'cause he couldn't give her everything. The city preacher spends his time in jail, but he should get up off his knees, 'cause he's getting nailed. Is his aspiration gone? 'Cause Tammy's moving on. Yeah, she's looking for the wild thing. They used to think that it was so easy to beg for cash with Tammy's face greasy. Now he's crying 'cause she's filing now. Just once a week and then she'd be happy. But Tammy faces Jim made love crappy. So she's filing while he's crying now.
Truth is, he didn't know a G-spot from a club sandwich.
4 minutes after the hour of 5 o'clock, Thursday, August the 3rd, 1995, fourth final hour for this edition. Let's do, let's not do that. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hello, you're on the air. Once, twice.
Hello, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, the reason I'm calling is this. I've heard a lot of calls about the news media and the coverage of the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to relate a quick story. The morning after Andrew hit Miami, my company was contracted by Metro-Dade Fire Department to go down there and assist in the search and rescue and the distribution of essential supplies and things like that.
Uh-huh.
No one can imagine, nobody who has not seen that can imagine the scale of devastation that can happen when a serious hurricane comes through town.
Yeah, I believe the storm that I saw, the one that just stays and stays and stays in my mind, was a Category 3, and I believe Andrew was a 5.
That was a Cat 5, sure was. And you think you've got a house that's built solid, you'll be disappointed. I saw just entire subdivisions devastated, nothing but slabs and Owens Corning fiberglass insulation everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
As a public service, I would just advise people they better be paying attention to the media when they cover these hurricanes, because when they say go, the best thing to do is go, because that was
Well, you see, what the real problem is that for an awful lot of people, they have come to expect that when they turn that radio on or when they turn that television on, they have come to expect free entertainment to escape from the crappy job or the lousy day with the kids or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And they really resent when they turn it on. I mean, you've heard the stories, and they're as true can be. President assassinated, and so they have the coverage on, and people are calling up and bitching, "Where's my soap opera?"
Oh, sure.
Well, this is the mentality that you're dealing with. These people are not thinking.
Bob, I got to tell you, that scares the hell out of me. That scares the hell out of me when I look around me. And I've been listening to you for a long time. Back when you were back with FLA, I was a real satisfied listener of your program. And the monologues, I hope that doesn't become a thing of the past, because listening to your thoughts and your ruminations on life and even the simplest things is just a real pleasure to me. And then when there are serious concerns to be discussed, talk radio always seemed to me to be a great forum for that, and the changes that are happening to it, which I guess are market-driven or listener-driven, like you say, they concern me, because I don't know of any other forum except maybe the net now, and that's turning into a little bit of a forum for intellectual discourse and a place for people to air their more serious thoughts. But
until the assholes find out where your news group is.
Yeah. and I'll tell you what, you got to give them a lot of credit for persistence, because they find you, don't they?
They sure do.
And
destroy every single one of them eventually.
My real hope here is that number one, that they renew your contract, and while they're at it, I hope they throw a few more bucks on you. But on top of that, I'm glad you're in the market, Bob, and I'm happy for your show, and I just want to thank you for that, partner.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, dude.
Bye-bye.
Be good. 576 WSUN Pinellas, Hillsboro, 221 WSUN. Let's do this. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Yes, don't you hate it when people owe you money?
Yes, I do. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hello, Bob?
Yeah.
What do you use Prodigy mainly for?
For the news. For the AP Newswire.
For the news groups, you mean?
No, the AP Newswire.
Oh, because there's a lot of alternatives out there now that are much faster and basically dedicated to the internet, and you have to deal with graphics and all that.
Well, they're all going pretty much the same way. They're all being terrified by Gates and Windows 95 and their his own bulletin board, electronic bulletin board, and America Online has always kind of looked like Windows, and now Prodigy looks like Prodigy is Windows, and it's slow.
Well, there's you know what Slip is?
No.
It's totally different. It's not as organized. It's not big. There's a lot of local places. There's two big companies that have local numbers. There's one in Florida, and it's a lot cheaper. Normally, it's one set fee for a whole month.
Yeah, but I'm not on them for news groups or conferences. I'm on it primarily for the Associated Press Newswire, and it's the only place I can get it.
Well, they probably do have a Telenet site that you could call into through that.
I doubt it very much. It would cost me a fortune. This stuff is not free.
How would it cost you a fortune?
You have to pay for the Associated Press Newswire. Somebody's got to pay for it. They don't give it away.
All right, well, I'm from Chicago, and I'm down here on vacation, and I've been listening to you, and I think you're doing a great job.
Hey, thanks, dude.
All right, bye.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
All right, I like to call you Czar Lassiter.
Well, that's cool.
King. You should be king.
Yes, I should be.
A regular listener, love your show, been listening to you for too many years in the Tampa Bay area, and talk radio can't be dead, because you're still doing it, and we love you, so I'm not going to even argue with you on that. You guys were talking about computers, and I just got done with a family reunion and got to visit with my brother, who works for Grumman Northrop.
Yeah.
Which defense contracting.
Mm-hmm.
My brother does estimating for Northrop Skunk Works. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that division.
No, what do they do?
They basically build all this really super duty high-tech fighters and whatnot. The SR-71 Stealth was built by Northrop Skunk Works in 8 months, from design concept to flight.
Are you?
Yeah, this is they're a real wild division of Northrop. To say the least, my brother gets to mess around with a bunch of wild new computer technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And to say the least, the keyboard as we know it, and these 480SXs, and computers as we know it today, 5 years from now, they're going to be the dinosaurs already.
Oh, my people tell me that the 486 will be the entry-level computer within a year to a year and a half.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Data compression technologies on Laserdisc, there's already out. It's already broken. From what we know now with Laserdisc technologies, they can already compress information with the new blue laser 5 times of what we're already doing now. And that was just on IBM News last night. The optic mouse, the laser optic mouse, which will follow your eye around the screen, you blink twice and it will click on what you're looking at.
Oh, go away.
No, this is wild.
Go away.
Have you heard of the mind meld technology? Do you remember the movie Firefox?
I remember them.
Eastwood. There was a special helmet that he wore that if he thought one thing, the plane would do it. This technology is out there. My brother's been playing with it. All right? So
I can't deal with this.
Voice recognition technology. You talk to the computer just like Star Trek. It's out there.
Well, I know that actually exists now. It's commercially available.
Yeah, it's commercially available, but it's very crude. In 5 years, it will be perfected. And it will be perfected to work in almost any language. That's why I will not buy any. I don't want to buy any of it. I don't want to buy it. It's so simple that a 4-year-old kid can work it and know how to work it very well. But the technology is moving that quickly that will happen. And that's what scares the hell out of me, because you know something? As we know communication today, it's going to cease to exist. Everything is going to be pure conscious thought traveling through information lines. That's scary. And that's a very futuristic thought, but that's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
It's mind-boggling. I do not understand what is not only what is available today. I do not understand what is common today. I mean, it's all beyond me. I know how to. I'm an operator. I'm a computer operator, but that's about it. I don't know why it works. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to make it work. I don't know how to program it. If you talk to me over the phone, you can walk me through a lot of problems, but I don't know what I've done. Or why it had to be done. My mind doesn't work that way, and I can't begin to imagine minds that do.
Well, just imagine this. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. You don't have to know how it works. Point is, it's going to be there available for us, and it will be working for us. And you know what's really scary? Can you imagine if all this technology one day just drops? We lose it all. You know how useless and weak this society is going to feel? The problem is we're becoming too dependent on it.
Yeah.
The problem is we're becoming too dependent on it, and it's starting to ruin things like talk radio, television, entertainment. I can't believe what people have done.
Just human relations, man.
Yeah. Hell, computer dating. Man, God forbid, you got to go out and get matched up on a computer, not just go out on a date. I know, it's getting ridiculous. It is really getting ridiculous. I love your show, though, Bob, and this cell phone call is going to cost me a fortune. That's another thing that's getting crazy. Cellular telephones, they say, are eventually going to replace hardwired telephone. The only reason you're going to have a hardwired telephone is so you can hook it up to your computer.
Well, I can't wait, because then I can drop 2 of my 4 lines.
Anyway, love you, Bob.
Hey, thanks, dude. See, this computer stuff even comes down into the telescope, because part of the debate going on at my house is you can now get it's about $500 more. You can now get a computer, or now get a telescope that has a computer built into it. And if you want to look at, M13 or M51 or whatever.
So you don't have to find the star.
Right. One of the, I could be wrong about this, but, what the hell, most people don't know what I'm talking about. One of them, you would have to type in the coordinates of M13. The other one, you just type in M13, and it goes, and centers it in the middle of your telescope. Now, of course, this is what I want. Now, of course, this is not what Muffy wants.
Of course not.
Because Muffy wants...
Out of it.
Well, you say takes the fun out of it. It takes the fun out of it if you consider, finding M13 to be fun. I would consider looking at M13 to be fun. And if I know that there's a little device relatively inexpensive, that all I got to do is type in M13 and it goes to it and saves me an hour of looking for the sucker. Because you see, I just know that Muffy will spend an hour finding the damn thing, and I'll be sitting there twiddling my thumb. Have you found it yet, Muffy? Hurry, honey, hurry! And she'll find it, and as she's getting up, she'll bump into the telescope, and lose it. So that's part of the debate going on at my house.
Same reason why you don't like to work out in the yard either.
Honey, I don't like to work out inside either. It's 5:16.
Now, an AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol update. Here's Chris Walker.
Signal malfunctions, Hillsborough County, Armenia, and Waters. Typical volume through the interchange system. And if you're traveling in Pinellas County, watch out for some standing water, Almerton and Roosevelt, and flooding on Park Boulevard at 49th Street. US 19 in Seville just about wrapped up. Belcher north of Park Boulevard, still going to see some accident activity. And please use caution as you go across all of the Bay Area bridges. Chris Walker, AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol.
Now, the AM 620 WSUN Stock Market Update, brought to you by Greg Cunningham and Bill Hoyt of Raymond James & Associates.
Blue chips managed to rally into the close while the broader market closed slightly lower, helped by a recovery in several leading high-tech stocks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 4701, up 11 points. The S&P 500 closed flat at 558. The Nasdaq closed down 1 point at 982 as gains in Intel, Microsoft, and Apple were offset by losses in other high-tech issues. The volume was 354 million shares. Stocks of interest include Microsoft up 2 1/8 to 91 1/8, Intel up 5/8 to 62 1/8, Micron Technologies up 3/4 to 58.5, and Southern Pacific Rail up 2 3/8 to 22. For Raymond James & Associates and Street Talk, I'm Greg Cunningham.
Do your investments perform like this finely tuned engine? Or does your portfolio keep stalling out? Find out what's got Wall Street revving. Tune in to Street Talk with Greg Cunningham and Bill Hoyt of Raymond James & Associates, member New York Stock Exchange. Saturday mornings from 7 to 8, right here on AM 620 WSUN. Street Talk with Bill Hoyt and Greg Cunningham. Saturday mornings from 7 to 8. Don't miss it.
This Saturday, friends, be sitting behind the wheel at 10 a.m. when the prices are marked. Listen up. Sutherland Toyota is so overstocked with used cars, we're going to blow them out. It's unbelievable, but it's true. Listen to this. You must be sitting behind the wheel at 10 a.m. this Saturday when the prices are marked. No price will be marked till 10 a.m. Saturday. The doors open at 9. The prices will be marked at 10. But you'll find used cars at Sutherland Toyota, used cars for $5 each. You'll find cars for $15 each. $900 cars for $175. $1,500 cars for $265. But you must be sitting behind the wheel at 10 a.m. Saturday when the prices are marked. The doors open at 9. The prices will be marked at 10. No price will be marked till 10 a.m. And you must be sitting behind the wheel at 10 a.m. of the car that you want this Saturday. One day only, Saturday only, Sutherland Toyota used cars. Sutherland Toyota used cars this Saturday. Don't miss it.
Don't got a car, you can't get too far. You're right in hand, you need wheels real bad. You got somewhere to go, you want to hit the road. You decide, turn to time, time's classified. It's driving rough, you need a brand new truck. You want to cruise real slow, put your cars in tow. You want to go deep, 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 but you're driving.
Looking for a car or truck? Want the largest selection and the best prices? How about consumer news and dealer updates? Then turn to the Times New Wheels section every Friday.
You gotta get wheels. You want a really good deal.
Wheels every Friday in Times Classified. All you need to know, all in one place.
Turn to Times. Wheels. Times Classified. Turn to Times.
Lose it. AM 620 WSUN.
I like women. I mean, I love women. But sometimes I can't find a woman who likes me. That's why I'm glad there's a drive-up Jack-in-the-Box in my neighborhood. The new Jack-in-the-Box Sperm Bank. Perfect for the guy who can't find a woman when he needs one.
5:21 the time, about 21 minutes after the hour, 5 o'clock. What are you looking so appalled for?
That was awful.
No worse than any of the others.
I suppose not.
That's for sure. 576 WSUN in Pinellas and Hillsborough 2. Donnie, did you find it any worse than any of the others, Jeffy?
No, I thought it was rather enjoyable.
You know, actually, I was just sitting here thinking about playing a joke on the psychic.
Looking for a Jack-in-the-Box
leaving these flip cards behind and telling him he has to read them. Did we get tricky?
Well, that's what I see. I think you're going to take that job in Cincinnati. Okay, thank you, caller. Okay, we got to take a break now. Not too hard, not too soft. That's AM 620 WSUN. One great call after another. I'm going to give it a try. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Mr. Lassiter.
Yes, sir.
Wow, the delay threw me off. I just wanted to call. I want to apologize to you. I've been living in Tampa for about a year now, and just recently started listening to WSUN about a month ago, and I've been listening to your show, and always felt like a listener instead of a caller, and which I guess leaves you hanging, waiting for people to call in when you're talking away, trying to fill up airtime.
Mm-hmm. You see, I happen to be a talk show listener.
Okay.
And as a talk show listener, I know when the poor son of a bitch doing the talk show ain't got no calls. And it is painful. It is absolutely painful when he suddenly remembers something. Yeah, well, I meant to mention to you today about that bond issue in Temple Terrace. I don't know how you feel about it, but, hey, it's painful. It's not good radio. It's bad radio. It's real bad radio.
Probably have to agree. It's, I couldn't do it. I couldn't talk for 45 minutes straight and hope I could keep people interested. I'd run out of things to say. It would be a long show. I think part of the reason, at least I don't call, because at least right now, I'm nervous just at least knowing that my voice is on the air. That people all throughout Tampa, St. Pete, wherever, are hearing my voice, listening to my opinion. I mean, my heart's beating. It's rather strange.
I understand. My heart beats every day at 2 o'clock. Don't think for a second that I am not nervous. Every single day on September the 1st, I will have been in this business for 25 years, and every single day, somewhere between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, I become a basket case every single day. So don't feel bad.
But yeah, it's different. Well, I promise I'd love to sit and chat with you now about many interesting topics, but I actually have to go to work and make that money. So,
okay, dude.
But I promise to call you again.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Love your show.
Be good.
Bye.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Excellent.
Bob, when you on back on the FLA...
Oh, it's you. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Good afternoon, Robert.
Good afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I got through. I got to talk to you.
Okay.
About 2 years ago, I inherited a job that required me to be on the road a lot, and I acquired a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, I used to call you a lot back when they had the 95 number still, and it's hard for me to believe that there's times I've been gone 45 minutes when you don't have calls.
Oh, believe me, it's in the last 6 weeks. It's more common than uncommon.
Well, that's why I'm calling you right now, because there's so many times when I would call, like to call you, but the deal with the boss is he pays for the company calls. The rest are on me.
Yep.
And I just, but so many times I want to call, and you talked about, you'll bring up a monologue, and you'll put effort and thought into it, and then, like you said, 3 or 4 calls or whatever, and you're out of it.
You want to know why we don't have cell phone lines?
Yeah.
Very simple, because...
No, that's not my question, but that is a good question.
Oh, well, okay, well, let me answer that one. Then you ask the question that I thought you were going to ask. The reason we do not have cell phone lines is very simple. The people at Cellular One and the people at GTE MobileNet provide those lines. Stations don't buy them. I guess, I don't know if we could, if we wanted to. Probably not, because we would then have to pay literally for every call, and we're not going to do that. Because that would be an incredible expense, an unrealistic expense.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which company is which, but one of the companies hates me, the other company hates the station.
Cool. I like it.
And so therefore, they will not give them to us.
Sure. Well, okay, that's interesting to know. That's not really why. I didn't expect there to be cell phone service again, but to refresh your memory or to help give me a little credibility so that I'm coming from the hip on this one. The World According to Jeff and John. I called you, we called using that handle or that ID with a couple different things in the past, and one of them got cut and used as a promo for a while. So, but Jeff and I, we need to talk to you. And we're hearing now your format may be changing or the market may be changing, and what if we don't have access?
The country's changing, man. The society is changing.
Okay, well, listen, I know that. And to that end, or in case of that, whether the market changes here, whether you get so famous that we can't call you up just and have you answer the phone on us like that, Jeff and I would really like to talk to you. And see, we figure that because I haven't called you as many times as I should have in the past, because I really couldn't, we're willing to make it up. And I've heard you say this to a couple callers very, very rarely, more of a challenge than anything else. Come on the air. Well, Jeff and I would like to come and sit down and talk to you for a while. And if we can't get you on the phone and you're worried about the callers, the hell with all that. We'll just come in there and we'll sit down and we'll talk.
What do you want to talk about?
Okay, here's the deal. You spend whatever's on your mind. You prepare your monologue like you might normally, and whether it's the night before or the morning before the show, once you decide what you want to talk about or what's on your mind that day, call us. As soon as you figure out what you want, then give us that much notice. We'll do a little show prep, and we'll come in and we'll just bat it around.
It's not the way it works.
Well, why not? Okay, why not?
Because first of all, when I do a monologue, except on very rare occasions, it's done that morning. It's done. No, not on tape. I think about what I'm going to say that morning and work on it up until just moments before the show.
Okay, well, in the morning when you first get the concept.
But I don't know what I'm going to say until literally just a relatively short time before the show. Secondly, here's what you're asking me. I'm sure you don't see it this way, but this is in essence what you're asking me. You're saying to me and my friend would really find this a neat thing to do, to come on the radio and talk. So, Lassiter, you tell us what to talk about. You go do the work. Call us and tell us in advance so that we can think about it.
No.
And then we'll come in.
No. Robert, you got us all wrong, man. We'll sit down stone cold and talk about
that's a pretty good idea.
I could do that, Jeffy.
I wish somebody'd do it for me.
Well, no, listen, I'm telling you, we'll come in and stone cold and talk about anything you want to talk about right down in the moment. Because Jeff and I and you, believe it or not, are very like people. And we really associated with you a lot because we do listen to you, even though we can't always call you. And we don't want to lose the opportunity before everything, like you said, the end, it's all changing.
Well, wait a second. You're very like-minded people. So what are we going to talk about if we agree?
Oh, don't worry. I'm real good at playing the devil's advocate. And so,
what, you're going to have somebody on here saying stuff he doesn't believe?
No. No. Like, you can make a good argument on either side of a case. It's using logic. You can pick a side and you can be, you can be sincere. And the way you word things and your sincerity, no. You can take both sides of an issue. Besides, maybe we'll all end up talking about the same thing and we'll all learn something together. And maybe we'll end up, bashing the cellular phone people because they won't let me talk to you for free anymore, or something. We just don't want to lose the opportunity, and we want to contribute back to the show. And we're willing to give you anywhere from 0 to 4 hours, however much time you want to put up with us. And we'll get in there and we'll talk about stuff with you, and we'll be sincere and honest and have good things to say, and we'll have a good time.
Can you bring some girls?
How much money you got?
None.
Well, there you go. Last best offer on the girls. That seems to be the case.
I'll tell you what,
it's the world according to Jeff and John, and we got some great ideas, and it'd be really neat to talk to you. And here's the deal. I'll give you my number off the air. Of course, there is nobody off the air today, right? And it's kind of neat when you come on the phone like this, when it rings, and all of a sudden you pick up. It's like walking off a diving board blindfolded.
Well, of course, it's a little...
hello, you're on the air.
Element of surprise for all of us. It's an element of danger for all of us.
Oh, absolutely. Blindfolded on a diving board, you don't know if there's water in the pool or not.
That's right.
Anyway, I'll give you my number off the air, and if it's like we need to meet for lunch ahead of time, or any way you want to work it out, but sincere offer. We'd like to do it, and it'd be a great time.
I will give it some serious thought.
Okay.
Okay.
Board up?
Yeah, let me put you on hold. It's 5:30.
And now an AM 620 WSUN traffic patrol update. Here's Chris Walker.
I have an accident just coming in on the Hillsborough side of the bay at Hillsborough and Himes. And if you're in Pinellas County, St. Petersburg specifically, going to find a crash at 18th Avenue South and 9th Street. Some standing water still on Ulmerton and Roosevelt. Definitely want to keep both hands on the wheel when you go through there. Park Boulevard, 49th Street, have some flooding at that location. And high wind warning still up on the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. This report is service of the Tampa Airport Marriott. Early morning flight from Tampa's airport. Spend the night before your flight at Tampa's Airport Marriott. Marriott $99 flyout includes 7 days parking with your hotel room. Call 879-5151. Chris Walker, AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol.
Hey, let's go to the 28 Tampa Bay newsroom with Marty and Brendan.
Marty Tucker. And I'm Brendan McLaughlin. Here's what's coming up tonight on 28 Tampa Bay News. At 6, Hurricane Aaron is still packing a powerful punch. We'll show you dramatic pictures as the storm brings its destructive winds and rains along Florida's panhandle and into Alabama and Mississippi. Find out where it stops.
Plus, we'll take a look at the trail of floods that Aaron left behind all over Tampa Bay. Why are certain areas like Town and Country always getting hit the hardest, and what's being done to stop it?
Then at 11, 28 Tampa Bay News reporter Kelly Swoop goes behind the lines of the Super Bowl of Army training camps in Louisiana. Are the men and women of the Florida National Guard really ready to defend our country? Find out in our special report, Weekend Warriors.
And meteorologist Wayne Shattuck will have the latest on what Aaron is doing tonight. Also, a look at a new tropical disturbance developing in the Atlantic. Join us tonight on 28 Tampa Bay News, working hard to be your favorite.
Life is choices. They're everywhere. Sports car, minivan, paper or plastic, cat or dog, smoking or non. McDonald's understands the pressures of making these kinds of decisions. And frankly, you already have enough of them. So say hello to 2 quarter-pounder with cheese sandwiches or 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits for just $2. It's the least we can do to make one thing in your life a lot easier to decide on. Now about your hair. Plus tax, prices, and participation may vary. Life is choices. They're everywhere. Sports car, minivan, paper or plastic, cat or dog, smoking or non. McDonald's understands the pressures of making these kinds of decisions. And frankly, you already have enough of them. So say hello to a 39-cent hamburger, a 49-cent cheeseburger, or 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits for just $2. It's the least we can do to make one thing in your life a lot easier to decide on. Now about your hair. Plus tax, prices, and participation may vary.
Stay tuned for Gary Spivey tonight, 6 till 8 p.m. on AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Countdown. I'm your host, Crazy Kasem, with a letter from a listener in Menudo, PA that reads, Dear Crazy, my friend and I have a bet going for $1 million. In Madonna's video, Like a Prayer, there's an actor in the background that's burning on a cross. Now, I say it's Arsenio Hall, and my friend says it's game show host Bert Comby. Crazy, which one of us is right? And it's signed, Praying for a Payoff. Well, Praying, both you and your friend are wrong. It isn't an actor at all, but singer-songwriter Tiffany that's burning on that cross. And an interesting side note, they had a hard time keeping poor Tiffany on the cross during the filming because she kept dropping down a couple of notches. Let's listen. And there you have it, Madonna burning for another big hit. Thanks for the letter. Until next time, this is Crazy Kasem, and remember to keep your feet on my face and your toes on my tongue so I can chew your nails with my teeth.
5:35, the time we blew it. We forgot at 3 o'clock to do the recap of the first hour for the people listening to the replay.
Now it's too late.
And then I thought of another thing. We should actually say goodbye, before the break, before the bottom of the hour, again, at 5:30.
Yeah.
5:30 in the afternoon, again, for the people listening to the replay for when Bennington, gets a bug up his behind and decides to take over a half hour early and start their show a half hour early.
Yeah,
so we got to remember to say goodbye a half hour sooner and do the recap of the first hour for the people who listen and don't hear the first hour.
It's too late now. They're not going to hear any of this.
Right, yeah.
We might as well.
Because now Bennington's,
might as well go home.
Yeah. Well. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hello?
Robert.
Yeah.
I was on hold.
Oh.
Jeff and John.
Oh, okay. I'll put you back on hold then.
I'm getting to him. God, you're supposed to answer the phone now when they're on hold?
Yeah.
I thought we went over this.
Guess you didn't pay attention the first time, Jeff.
You know, it's really extraordinary. Jeffy was telling me before the show that prior to coming to work here, he used to manage a How to Win Friends and Influence People seminar.
The bastards kicked me out.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Yeah, I want to talk to Bob, please.
You are.
Huh?
You are.
I am talking to Bob?
Yes.
Oh, how did you answer the phone without me getting...
I pushed the button and said hello.
Oh,
remember when it stopped ringing?
Anyway, I'm calling about the Star 95 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that guy, and I stuck up for you, Bob. I up and complained that as a service to the public, it is unfair to keep such a large radio station in this local area from getting a star line due to personal conflict. So I filed a complaint. They'll be contacting me later, I guess.
Well, great.
Yeah.
It would be a big help, obviously, because there's... See, that's another thing that's happened in the last 5 to 6 weeks. Jeffy, can you verify this so, and make sure I'm just not going crazy? That's okay, Bob, don't worry about it. There has been a dramatic drop-off in the last 5 to 6 weeks in cell phone calls, has there not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of cell phone
It all started to come together right before my vacation. That week before my vacation, there was a dramatic change, and one of the changes was a big drop-off in cell phone calls.
Did the rates go up?
Not that I know of.
No, it's just that, you're on hold 20 minutes, and I'd like to call you every day. I always have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets expensive on the phone.
Oh, I appreciate that. I got 2 of them, man. So, I know. That,
well, for the most part, if I'm ever screen calls again, if they tell me they're on a cell phone, we try to do those expeditiously as possible.
And I usually do. I occasionally blow it and don't see it on the screen, but I usually get to it as fast as possible. But even as fast as possible could mean 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And, I know
if
it adds up.
If you have a cell phone, you got money to burn. Don't worry about it.
That was a very big word, too, Jeffy, that you used a moment ago.
Mm.
Oh, one more thing, Bob.
Sure, what's that, dude?
Oh, you mean you could actually talk, too?
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead.
They called up about the computers, everybody relying too much on them.
Yeah.
I disagree. A computer only does what a human can do, only faster. Thus, you're only relying on the speed, not necessarily the computer.
Well, yeah, but let's take the example that I gave of the computer and the telescope. I have no possible way of knowing how to program that. I have no possible way of knowing how to even go in and change it, if it is possible to change it. So all that computer is doing is genuinely making me lazy. Granted, it's saving me a lot of time.
Right.
And it's a great convenience and all of that kind of thing. But so many of the people who are using computers today, especially like at work, are just computer operators. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what the machine is doing. And, from that point of view, I think I tend more to agree with him. I know what you're saying, and I'm not totally putting down what you're saying, but I think I tend to agree with him more. That you take those suckers away, if something happens, we're all in trouble.
Well, that would be true of some of the small businesses where they just say, let's get to work, they don't have time to train and all this kind of stuff. They just say, do this and do that, and it'll get done.
But I mean, just imagine, think of this scenario. Suppose 5 years down the road, there's unbelievable growth in the Tampa Bay area, and there was really bad planning, and then there's also a problem in the Middle East, and we have a hard time getting oil, and we have to have rotational blackouts because we just don't have the capacity to generate electricity. And for an hour every day, a different area of the city is going to be without electricity. It would bring us to an absolute halt, a screeching, screaming halt.
I could see businesses not making as much profit and having to redefine the nature of their operation. But I can't see them stopping. I
beg your pardon. There's one store that I'm aware of immediately. God, is it called Breakstones? Do you know what I'm talking about, Sharon? It's one of these stores that sells, weird off-the-wall things at the mall.
Yeah.
Everything. You see, and the way I know this is because it happened to me. Their computer system went down. When you go in there and you buy something, they ring it up at the cash register. It is not going to their little, computer terminal in the back of the store. It's going over a satellite dish to their national computer. They lost their uplink one day, and they were out of business. They couldn't sell me anything.
Well, that's poor planning by the...
Well, it's horrible planning, but they're not the only people involved in that.
Well, look at Home Shopping Network. I used to work for them, and they have, thousands of people on the phone. I mean, with phone lines, just taking orders. And they take every precaution so that they never lose power. Well, at one point in time when I was there, they did lose power. I don't know how, because they have backup, batteries and all that kind of crap. But they did lose power, and it was no problem. They went right to paper. And people kept taking orders right on paper, and then they just enter them later.
Well, it would work a horrible hardship. But, you're both kind of right, although I still think I tend to agree with him slightly more.
Okay.
Okay, is that a deal?
That's a deal.
All right. Hey, thanks, dude.
Bye-bye.
It is 5:41.
Now, an AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol update. Here's Chris Walker.
Northbound 275 is backed up from Memorial all the way to Lois. You have an accident with injuries. It's blocking both the left and right lane. Also have an injury accident US 19 near East Bay in Pinellas and 22nd Avenue South and 34th Street. Lakeland, we still have an investigation continuing on County Line Road between Medulla and Drainfield, and some pretty serious flooding down in Bradenton on 9th Avenue and 51st Street, and also in Manatee on Buckeye, a half mile west of Pritchard. This report of service of Lorenzo's Italian Restaurant. Come and enjoy a casual, romantic dinner in a nice, cozy corner and sip wine at Lorenzo's Italian Restaurant in the Village Center, Carrollwood. Open nightly, 5 p.m. Chris Walker, AM 620, WSUN Traffic Patrol.
You know, Bobby, I know how much you enjoy working on your car.
What, is this another one of those my brother the car painter spots? How many of these are we going to do?
Only about another week. Let's live with it, okay?
Well, wait, you just did one a short time ago. How many people do you think have changed their minds about getting their cars painted since then?
They might be thinking about it. But they've heard you talk about how you work on your car, and they might unfortunately get into their heads that they can paint their cars themselves. And I've seen that done before, and it's very, very ugly. It's not pretty at all. Jeffy's done it, I'll bet you. Haven't you, Jeffy?
Yes, I have taken a brush to several automobiles.
Painted your own car.
Yeah, but those cars weren't worth what this place cost to get a car painted.
That's the beauty of this, of Swanson Chrysler Plymouth.
I've never seen anybody take a brush to a car that was worth more than $500.
You can get...
I paid $80 for that damn car.
You can get an entire paint job done.
So you think Jeffy's going to take
5-year warranty?
Sure, it's a great price for some cars, but you think Jeffy's going to take his $80 car for a $599 paint job?
Jeffy could take the crapmobile in and it would look beautiful.
Oh, now it's the crapmobile.
I stole that from that nice Carabao. That's what she used to drive, but now she's got a beautiful car.
Oh, so now I right down there.
Well, somebody's got to have one. Somebody's got to have one, and I need one for this commercial, Jeffy. Okay, so it's a nice car then. We could use a nice new paint job, and you could get one for $599. Oh, now he's mad at me in there.
Now they use Sherman-Williams, right?
No, Swanson Chrysler. Swanson Chrysler Plymouth has the BASF and the RM Diamond paint system.
I always heard that Sherman-Williams was the best.
Can guarantee you a perfect match to any factory color, and it comes with that 5-year written warranty. And if you do it right now, it's $599, and that's only half what it would normally
wait a half an hour.
No. Wait, half an hour?
Yeah, half an hour.
Well, probably in half an hour it'll still be $599. But
so you were fibbing when you said if I do it right now.
Well, I wouldn't wait too much longer.
How about an hour?
That. Perhaps before closing time.
What time do they close?
Actually, I think they closed
So this price isn't any good tomorrow.
It's good tomorrow.
So you were fibbing when you said I had to do it right now.
I was. It's $599 today and tomorrow. And if you go, you can get it done for that much at Swanson Chrysler Plymouth at $2,500.
How about the day after tomorrow?
$2,500. What is that? Saturday? No, I think they're closed on Saturday.
No, it's $2,500.
Because I think my brother-in-law's off on Saturday.
Well, which is it? Is it $599 or $2,500? That's a big spread.
We're in a break here.
Swanson. Hey, he did a 4-minute commercial earlier. Okay.
Not in a break.
He did? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, speed it up, Sharon.
Okay, 2500 34th Street
North. Oh, wait
North
a second.
in
It only
St.
screws up the overnight board operator.
And they don't play this half hour anyway, so what's the difference?
And all we're doing is keeping him from a whore.
Oh, you can paint her up, too. Take her to Swanson Chrysler
I'll be right
Plymouth.
back to you, honey, as soon as I do this break. It'll only be 3 minutes.
Swanson Chrysler Plymouth, 2500 34th Street North in St. Petersburg.
You never know what's going to happen on Passion Phones.
Using this actually like baby oil.
Well, it'll eat the mattress up if you
Really?
don't get it off of there fast enough.
Now, wait a minute. This is something I did not know.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that sounds like a good time right there. Kind of slipping and slide. Play King of the Hill or play Queen of the Hill right there, huh?
So, you always have to listen. Passion Phones, weeknights, 8 p.m. till midnight on AM 620 WSUN.
That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion.
Hey, bro, what's happening? Oh, hi, just practicing for karaoke night at Mugs and Jugs. What do you think? Should I do REM or this one?
Runaway train, never going back. Long way on a one-way track.
What do you think? I don't know, they both sound pretty cool. Mugs and Jugs has those kind of tunes for karaoke? Sure, they've got everything.
Wednesday night at Mugs and Jugs, karaoke plus 29-cent wings, huge liters of ice-cold beer for just $2.50. Refills are $2, and there's all kinds of other drink specials every Wednesday night.
How about this?
Oh, I'm Lord, I'm still alive.
Whatever. Hey, can I come along? Sure, but you gotta promise me you're not getting up and singing The Lion Sleeps Tonight again this week. Hey, what's the matter with that tune? Oh, come on.
Come sing your heart out every Wednesday night at Mugs and Jugs on 66th Street, just north of Almerton.
620 WSUN. Who says nylons are just for women?
And anyway, what's this crap about? Oh, he took 4 minutes on his commercial.
I looked.
You sound like a whiny little spoiled brat.
Well, if you got to go for 4 minutes, why can't I?
Because it's not in a break, first of all, and it's his show.
Yeah, you see what it says here on the top of the log?
Details,
See?
What?
Bob Lassiter show.
Yeah, well.
And you're sitting over there, with a stopwatch, seeing how long I spend on my commercials.
That's right. That's right.
He spent 4 minutes on his commercial.
You get 4 minutes, I get 4 minutes.
God damn.
Well, Jiffy, how you talk?
I just scraped my arm. I'm sorry.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Top of the afternoon to you, Bob.
And the top to you.
Hey, the most informative show on radio.
That's true.
Actually, yesterday the wind got bad and blew a neighbor's limb out of a tree right into the side of my car.
Oh, bummer.
And from listening to the Bob Lassiter show, I knew exactly what to do.
There you go.
I took a baseball bat down the other side, now it matches.
That's right.
No.
That's the thing to do. That's what I'd have done.
Bob, it
They can
fix that. The RM paint, that I'm wondering, does that stand for reptiles and mammals? Is it made of animal fat or something? Being an animal lover, I wouldn't want to put that stuff on my car.
Well, look, if they're not going to use Dutch Boy, I don't think I'm going to go there. I always, my mama told me Dutch Boy was the best kind of paint, and they don't use Dutch Boy, so I don't know what kind of stuff they're using over there.
Hey,
we can go on the Infinity.
Actually, that's not a bad price for a paint job, as long as I can sit in the booth.
It's a great price.
Are going on, so.
It's a great price, and they're good people.
Yeah, it is. It really is. That's honestly, R&M is good paint, and that's a good system.
Not as good as Dutch Boy, but.
Well, Sharon wants her own show, but she can't even do a commercial from one end to the other without laughing and cackling, and you're
or keeping track of the time.
You try with these two in here.
And that overnight board operator. I mean, he's got this hooker here by the hour.
That's right.
Oh man. Well, Bobby, I gotta go. It looks like I need to water the front lawn. I think the rain's coming back.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Neil wouldn't do a show like this.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
I did have something very pressing I was going to discuss with you, Bob, but after hearing Sharon's commercial, I'm immediately running out and taking my 74 LTD to get it painted.
Good. I knew that was what...
Scheib for $99.
I knew that was what you would drive, Chase.
Scheib, $99, man. That blows away any other...
And he uses Dutch Boy.
That's right. Well, he uses Krylon, but only in a spray can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, nice commercial, Sharon, but $99, Earl Scheib. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Remember those? How long did those paint jobs last? About
He's
a week?
still in business.
I
still see Earl Scheib commercials sometimes. Not like it used to be when I was a tad younger.
They were like $49 at one point.
Oh, probably less than that.
Opie could get out there, dip his tail in some paint, and do that, I'll bet you.
I wouldn't paint that car with Opie. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Sharon's an old bitch.
You're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Steve, first of all, let me just state, it's the third time I've called you, and it is so nerve-wracking once you get on the phone. It's like, suddenly your thoughts are gone. You can't say what you were thinking of talking about.
Oh, sure you can.
Anyway, you just broke me up. You've made my day twice today. First was the guy that called, and just the pause and the sound of indignation in your voice when you said, "Oh, it's you again," to that crank that keeps calling.
Yes.
Oh, if you could hear yourself on a replay, it was great. The second was the Casey Kasem bit. I can't hear the man's voice now without thinking about the dog cart. I can't. And the terrible thing is, I'm listening to him the other day, and he's talking about a group that he works for as a spokesman for. It's like a Arab American League or something like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are one of the most stereotyped and put down ethnic groups in the United States, which, I don't think anybody thinks about. I'm certainly, about as white bread as you can get. And he's talking about how, they're stereotyped in the film industry, they're stereotyped in, take, for example, that Dingo Boy cart with Ahmud,
sir.
And I'm listening to the guy, and I just can't take him seriously because I'm thinking of the guy.
Thinking of those outtakes. Story. That's right. That he can really swear, and the dog story and the whole thing, and the pictures that he didn't see, and he's got a terrible, awful bad temper. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Well, an Arab temper. Ooh.
Right.
But anyway, it was quite humorous, and so when I heard that, I was calling today, and it's very distracting, the 30 million rings you get before I actually got on the air. But when you start playing that cart while I'm calling in, I'm thinking, oh God, this is great. Anyway, so I just thought I'd let you know you made my day twice today. Also, just to let you know, I've got a little boy that's not quite 3 years old,
unfortunately, sometimes a piece of music or a song gets in your head and just keeps going on and on and on. He's heard me humming or singing the Dingo Boy tune, a One Time Too Many.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little kid, 2 years, 7 months, walking around one day going, run, run, Dingo Boy, like a little kid would.
Oh, that's great.
If I ever get it on tape, I will play it.
Oh, please do, dude.
All right, take care.
Okay, and we can play it all together with the regular Dingo Boy singers and Edith, and oh God, it would just be great. It'd be like a choir.
I was standing there taking the
Thanks, man.
tape off of the windows. I taped up the windows. The bodyguard taped up the windows. We're taking it off last night, and I was standing there in the rain, and I realized I was standing there thinking, "Run, run, Dingo Boy, run, run," the whole time.
Yeah, and you get offended when I call you when I called you a dingbat.
See what you've done to me.
Oh, what I've done to you?
Yeah, what you've done to me. What you reduced me to.
Yeah, sure. Blame it on me, Sharon. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Bob, you're a bastard.
We go together, don't we, Bobby?
You're a naughty boy, sir, using language like that. Just wait till your mother gets home and finds out you've been using the phone. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
What?
You're on the air at WSUN.
Speaking of run.
You're on the air at WSUN.
Yes, I'd like to hold for Gary Spivey.
Then why don't you call when Gary Spivey is on and tie up his lines instead of calling and tying up mine?
Okay.
Okay. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Stop this fat ass.
Now they're into name calling all of a sudden. On the mean old bitch.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny little impotent little boys. It makes them feel better, Sharon, for God's sake. It's no skin off our noses.
And they're calling you names. My.
Hi, you're on the air at WSUN. You're on the air at WSUN.
Hey, Bob, just take number ring.
You're on the air at WSUN. Hello? Once, twice. Holding for Spivey, aren't you? Forget it. Keep dialing. Hi, you're on... Oh, sir. I don't know how to tell you this, but you have just done a naughty thing, and we're just going to get you in a little bit of a problem here. So let's do this. And let's see how we're going to do that. We'll do that and that. There we go.
This is your call tracing service. To trace the last call you received, press 1. And we're sorry. Your last call came...
Oh, bummer. Hey, kid, it's your lucky day. We didn't get you this time. We'll get you the next one. Hi, you're on the air at WSUN.
Oh, yeah, hi. I did not pick up a hooker. Tired of hearing about it. I've left a note about it.
Yeah, I know. You tried to blame it on Bob. Picked up a hooker. It's 5:56.
God.
Now, an AM 620 WSUN traffic patrol update. Here's Chris Walker.
Northbound 275 is backed up from Memorial all the way up to just past Lois. We have a 5-car accident with injuries and blockage to both the right and the left lane. Certainly the damage is already done as far as backups, but it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. You may want to bail out at Memorial or Kennedy and take the route around that and avoid the interstate system. 301 in Progress Boulevard just coming in, 2 on State Road 60, 1 at Brandon Town Center, 1 at Miller Road. And in Pinellas County, still working an injury accident, US 19 near East Bay and 22nd Avenue South and 34th Street. Southbound McMullen Booth near the Bayside Bridge, you're going to find a wreck. This report a service of Hemorrhoids. Did you know Preparation H has no pain reliever? Switch to Hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid cream and ointment have a maximum strength pain reliever. Relieve pain and itch fast with Hemorrhoid. Chris Walker, AM 620 WSUN Traffic Patrol.
And now, coming to you live, it's another Ron and Ron replay.
Did you hear my tag team on the air this morning?
Yeah, Ryan, you sure did. Hey, I was wondering, when are you going to get back in the ring?
I would love for something to break out on Sunday, and I would.
Let me say 2 words to you, Ronnie.
Go ahead.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, what? He's going to be part of the action. Is he going to jump in the ring during our match?
Who knows?
Good. I would love to be in the ring.
I'm willing to get in the ring with you, Ryan Dink.
Are you a wrestler?
Yeah.
How big are you?
I'm pretty good size.
What are we talking? 250 plus?
6'4", 240.
Chump.
Be sure to listen to Ron Diaz and Ron Bennington each weekday morning only on the Ron and Ron Show.
Don't miss Ron and Ron, weekday morning, 6 till 10 a.m. on AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio.
Looking for a compact pickup? Let's compare Ford Ranger to GMC Sonoma. Two nicely loaded trucks, but let's look at the numbers. Pencils ready? Ranger has a standard 112 horsepower engine. GMC Sonoma, 118. Ranger has 1,250 cubic inches of payload capacity. Sonoma, 1,257. Ranger gives you 28 highway miles per gallon based on EPA estimates. Sonoma, 29. And of course, with Sonoma, you can choose from 3 suspension packages. With Ranger, what you see is what you get. Plus, with air conditioning, driver's side airbag, and AM/FM cassette, it's easy to see why GMC Sonoma adds up to offer you more than Ford Ranger. See your Suncoast GMC truck dealer today.
Deep in the heart of the convenience store cooler, the bottles are having a really groovy time.
I think I'm hallucinating, Snappy.
You sure your cap's screwed on tight, Zappy?
Yeah, but the whole store is a shade of really cool colors. It's like I'm looking through tangerine mango sunglasses or something.
It's just those very fine chillers.
What very fine chillers?
The one standing in front of you. You're behind a whole row of Very Fine's Arctic Mango Tangerine chillers.
Man, they're really colorful.
I hear they taste just as good as they look. Luscious mangoes, delicious tangerines.
They're big, too. I can't even see over the top of the bottle.
Well, hey, they're 20 ounces.
Any other flavors?
I'm afraid so. Stuff like freezing fruit avalanche and a whole bunch of fruit-flavored lemonades and iced tea.
Well, Snappy, now everything's turning a beautiful greenish tint.
Oh, they must be stocking up on lemon lime blizzard.
Either that or I'm inhaling too much of that Freon.
Very Fine chillers. Can anything be very good if it isn't very fine?
It can't be very good if it isn't very fine. So look for Very Fine at your local Hop and Save.
AM 620 WSUN, St. Petersburg, Tampa, Clearwater. We got your contract with America right here. AM 620 WSUN. It's time for Psychic Gary Spivey. If you'd like to call Gary, in Pinellas, it's 576-WSUN. In Hillsboro, 221-WSUN. And toll-free statewide, 1-800-356-9786. The opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or advertisers of AM 620 WSUN. Entertaining talk radio.
It is the Gary Spivey Show. Welcome to a Thursday evening.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Me too. I'm doing so good. I mean, I just don't know what I'd do if I did any better. I feel great.
You would probably glow.
I probably would. I had the most fun day today. You wouldn't believe.
Really?
Yeah. Just a lot of exciting stuff. It was great.
One great call after another. AM 620 WSUN.
Who wrote these? Somebody gave us a bunch of cue cards. I think it's a setup from Bob Lassiter.
Coming up, a great variety of phone calls on AM 620 WSUN. Whenever you're in the car, be sure to press the entertaining talk radio button.
Oh, okay.
AM 620 WSUN. This is actually a warm liner card, because on warm it says whenever you're in the car, be sure to press the warm